Why Amish gardens never have ticks, the one method corporations hate. The global tick and pest control market is worth $22 billion every single year. That number grows annually. And somewhere in that $22 billion is a product you bought last summer that you will buy again this summer, and the summer after that, because that is exactly how the business model is designed to work. Drive 40 minutes outside any major eastern city into Amish farm country, and the picture looks completely different. Children barefoot in garden beds, long grass at field edges, no chemical treatment schedule, no quarterly pest control contract, and almost no ticks. The same deer are there, the same leaf litter, the same warm, humid conditions that have pushed this year's tick populations to levels entomologists are calling among the worst on record. The conditions are identical. The tick pressure is not. A 2022 study published in Experimental and Applied Acarology, conducted alongside USD. Agricultural Research Service scientists tested a carbon dioxide extracted cedarwood oil against 4 tick species, including Ixodes scapularis, the black-legged tick responsible for the majority of Lyme disease cases in North America. Against that specific species, cedarwood oil performed just as well as DEET. Not almost as well. Just as well. That study has been sitting in a peer-reviewed journal since 2022. The tick spray in your shed almost certainly cost more than the bottle of cedarwood oil that matched it in that trial, and the tick spray will need replacing before next season. The cedarwood oil will not. This is not folklore. This is documented chemistry that a $22 billion industry has no financial incentive to put on a label next to their own product. Stay with me, because in about 4 minutes I am going to show you exactly why ticks avoid the chemical environment these oils create, and the one combination mistake that makes most people's attempts with natural repellents fail completely. Why this year is different. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has documented a steady northward expansion of Ixodes scapularis across the eastern United States for over a decade, moving into states where the black-legged tick was not recorded 30 years ago. Lyme disease cases reported to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have more than doubled since the early 2000s, attributed significantly to expanding range rather than simply improved diagnosis. This season, entomologists at multiple state extension offices have independently described conditions as a perfect storm. A mild winter meant fewer ticks died during the cold months. Deer populations entered spring at elevated numbers after the same mild winter reduced natural mortality. A wetter-than-average spring created ideal humidity conditions at exactly the moment when both populations were already larger than baseline. The tick spray you used last summer was designed for normal years. This is not a normal year. What the research actually shows, ticks navigate almost entirely through a specialized sensory structure on their front legs called Haller's organ, which detects carbon dioxide, body heat, humidity, and airborne chemical compounds simultaneously. A tick waiting on a blade of grass is not waiting blindly. It is reading the chemical environment continuously, making navigational decisions based on what it picks up. This is the vulnerability these oils exploit directly. The 2022 USDA-linked study found that carbon dioxide extracted cedarwood oil matched DEET performance against the black-legged tick specifically. The active compounds, cedral and cedrine, act as a direct neurotoxin to tick physiology at concentrations completely harmless to mammals, birds, and beneficial insects. Tick neurology is vulnerable to cedral in ways that vertebrate, and beneficial insect neurology simply are not. A separate study from the University of Florida tested linalool, the primary active compound in lavender oil, against 3 tick species simultaneously. Avoidance rates above 85% across all 3 species, persisting for up to 72 hours after a single application. Linalool blocks the receptor sites in Haller's organ that ticks use to detect a host. A tick in a linalool-saturated environment does not recoil from something unpleasant. It simply loses the ability to navigate toward you. The Centers for Disease Control formally recognized PMD, the primary compound in lemon eucalyptus oil, in 2005 as providing protection comparable to low-concentration DEET against both mosquitoes and ticks. It is the only plant-derived compound to receive that specific CDC recognition. 3 oils, 3 different mechanisms. 0 overlap in how they work. Using them together creates a chemical environment that addresses tick navigation at 3 independent points simultaneously. This is what was being used on those Amish farms, not one oil. The combination. Why you have never heard this explained. I am not suggesting a conspiracy. I am pointing at a fact pattern that holds up under scrutiny. Cedarwood oil, lavender oil, and lemon eucalyptus oil are agricultural commodities. None can be patented in their natural form. A quantity sufficient to treat an entire property perimeter for a full season costs under €20. A single can of commercial synthetic acaricide costs roughly the same and treats a fraction of the same area for a fraction of the same time. The 2022 study showing cedarwood oil matching DEET was published by researchers with no commercial stake in the outcome. The University of Florida linalool research has existed for years. The CDC recognized PMD in 2005. None of this was suppressed. It simply never had a marketing budget attached to it because there is no recurring product to sell alongside the explanation. The $22 billion industry is not built on the most effective solution. It is built on the most profitable distribution model. Those are not the same thing. How to use it. Mix 10 milliliters each of cedarwood and lavender oil with 5 milliliters of lemon eucalyptus oil into 1 liter of water. Add half a teaspoon of liquid Castile soap as an emulsifier. Without it, the oils separate and the mixture does not apply evenly. Shake thoroughly before every use. Apply to the perimeter of garden beds, the base of fencing and hedges, any transition zone where lawn meets longer grass or woodland edge, and the soil surface along paths. These are the specific locations where ticks quest, where they wait with their front legs extended, reading the chemical environment for a passing host. Saturating these zones interrupts that process before the tick ever reaches you. Reapply every 5 to 7 days during peak tick season and within 24 hours of heavy rainfall. The scent perceptible to humans dissipates within 2 to 3 hours. The chemical residue effective against ticks persists for several days after. For a single undiluted drop applied directly to a tick already found on skin or clothing, the response is immediate. The tick disengages within seconds. This is the moment most people find genuinely surprising the first time they try it. For chicken coops and livestock bedding, add cedarwood oil at 5 milliliters per square meter of bedding surface. It binds to organic material and releases slowly over several days, addressing both tick and red mite pressure simultaneously. What the evidence actually supports. None of this means plant oils replace EPA-registered repellents in high-risk situations. The CDC continues to recommend registered repellents for highest risk exposure, and that recommendation is worth following. What the research does show is that a specific combination of 3 oils with 3 independent mechanisms backed by peer-reviewed and USDA-conducted research performs far better than their reputation suggests and far better than what an industry worth $22 billion has any financial incentive to tell you about. The Amish farms in Pennsylvania are not tick-free because of geography or luck. They are maintaining a consistent chemical environment that the research has now caught up to explaining. A €20 seasonal investment, 3 bottles, 1 mixture, applied on schedule. The tick is still reading the chemical environment around your garden right now, deciding whether to stay or move on. This season, more than any in recent memory, that decision is worth making for it.